Welcome to my channel. Today we'll be looking at Naamah, Noah's wife. Now, the story of Noah and his wife comes from the Bible, specifically Genesis chapter 6 through 9. Now, if you're not familiar with the Bible or the story of Noah, it's basically this. God was really disappointed in humanity for all the evil they were doing, so much so that he was going to destroy the world with a great flood. But God saw that Noah was a righteous man who walked with God. And so God chose Noah to survive the flood and repopulate the earth after everything was destroyed. And so God instructed Noah to build an ark and told him that he, his family, and 2 of every kind of animal would be saved on the ark. So Noah did exactly what God told him to do. And when the flood came, the waters rose, and everything on earth that wasn't on the ark was destroyed. After 40 days and 40 nights, the waters began to recede, and then Noah and his family and all the animals left the ark and went their separate ways. And that is the basic story of Noah and how he survived the great flood. Now, some people have questions about the story of Noah. Like, were the global flood and the story of the Tower of Babel just made-up stories? Or are they historical accounts? Was Noah really 600 years old when he had his sons, as it says in Genesis? What about the animals? Where did they come from after the flood? Did they just repopulate by themselves? Or were there like pairs of animals on the ark, one male and one female like it says in Genesis? There's a lot of questions people have about the story of Noah, but I'm not here to answer those questions. I'm here to answer a different question. I'm here to talk about Noah's wife, because even though she is in the story of Noah, we don't know her name. The Bible only refers to her as Noah's wife. But I believe she deserves more recognition than what the Bible gives her. So today, we're going to talk about who she is, what we know about her, where her name might have come from, and lastly, why I think she deserves more recognition than what she gets. So first off, who is she? Well, she is, of course, Noah's wife, but also the daughter of Lamech and the mother of Shem, Ham, and Japheth. She is also a descendant of Adam and Eve, making her a part of the human race that God looked at and said, "Man, these humans are evil. I'm going to destroy them." But because Noah and his family were righteous, they were spared. And she, along with her husband and sons, became the ancestors of all the people on earth after the flood. Now, the Bible doesn't tell us much about her, but we can learn a few things. First, we know that she had 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Second, we know that she was very likely older than most women at the time. We know that because when Noah was 500 years old, he had his first son, Shem, and he lived until he was 950 years old. So if we do some really basic math, we can probably assume that she died sometime between 800 and 950. Third, we know that she was very likely a very strong woman. Not only did she give birth to 3 sons when she was probably in her late 20s or early 30s, but she also had to take care of an entire household, while her husband built a boat that was 3 stories tall and was over 300 feet long. Also, once they were on the boat, she had to take care of the animals along with her husband and sons. So yeah, I think it's safe to say that she was a strong woman. Lastly, we know that she was a believer. We know this because the Bible tells us that Noah walked with God and was a righteous man, so I imagine that he didn't walk with God alone. I think it's safe to say that she was with him when he built the ark and when he took care of the animals and when he sacrificed the burnt offering. And I think it's also safe to say that she was a believer because their sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, also walked with God. So I think she deserves a lot of credit for raising such good boys. Lastly, I believe that her name was Naamah. Now, the Hebrew word for Naomi means pleasant or delightful, and I chose this name because it was the name of Ruth's mother-in-law in the Old Testament, and I thought it was fitting because both Naomi and Noah's wife had difficult circumstances. They both lost their husbands. They both had to raise children alone, and they both, along with their families, were ancestors of Jesus Christ. So yeah, I think the name Naomi fits her well. So those are the main things I want to say about Noah's wife. I think she's an amazing woman who deserves more recognition than what she gets. So I hope this small video helps with that. Also, If you want to support the channel, then consider supporting through the links in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.